The Favoto with 100 amps and field weakening turned on. So let's see how fast we can go. Come on, come on. 100 amps, let's go. Oh my God. What is going on, my beautiful raspy riders? Right here behind me is the Favoto Flow e-bike. The last time I reviewed this bike, the listing price was $350. There's some other models on Amazon and probably Temu and AliExpress that you could probably find for like $200 something. The point is, this bike is super cheap, and in this video, we are gonna give it some crazy speeds. Just keep that in mind though, that the frame and the wheels and all that came from a super cheap e-bike. So is making this bike go 45 to 50 miles per hour safe? Probably not. Actually, it's definitely not safe. So don't copy this. Don't do it at home. This is just what I'm doing. In terms of upgrades, I've already done a couple of things. I've put on a beefier front tire. It is now wider, and it's wider than the back actually. The back is a little smaller. And I took off the old T handlebars and I put on some BMX style bars. This handlebar actually came off the Kuroma scooter, and it works perfect for this thing. Now, when I first tested this bike, I actually tested a different version of the same bike. It was just another Favoto Flow, right? And I was able to get 22 miles per hour. On this bike, the fastest I can get up to is 18 miles per hour. So this bike comes with a 500 watt motor, and our top speed is currently 18 miles per hour. Yeah, this bike isn't fast, but come on, it's $300 and something. You're not gonna get a speedster bike at that price range. That's why we're gonna make it fast. So for all of my upgrade videos, you know there's 3 steps to modifying a bike to become faster. At least 3 steps that I focus on. That's gonna be the battery, the controller, and the motor. So right now, let's get started with the battery first. Take a look at how the Favoto's battery is set up. So there's a mounting plate right here to lock the battery in place, right there. And inside this place is a pack that is hooked up to this. So this is the discharge connector. And the goal is going to be to use this pack, this is the upgraded battery, and fit it inside here. So this new pack right here is a 48 volt, 22.5 amp hour battery pack. It can peak at 250 amps. So it's a huge upgrade. The capacity in terms of amp hours is okay. It can be more, but for me, in terms of what I want to happen out of this build, I prefer to have the original case so that I can lock the battery in place. If you wanted to, you could say screw it and get rid of this thing and contact Amorge to make a metal box. And then you can make a metal box that can go even higher up. Then you'll probably be able to use like a 72 volt and have much more amp hours too. And if you're a really tall rider, you could bring up the seat post to have even more space to have a longer and taller battery. But for this bike, I don't really care that much about range. 22 amp hours can still get us a decent amount of range. Probably ride it around town and go to the gym. I should still be able to get about 20 miles of semi-aggressive riding. We'll have to do a range test, but I'm pretty happy with this battery pack. Alright, so first what we gotta do is remove this battery and take it apart. Okay, so we got some wires connected to the lid right here. There's gonna be a connector for the charging port and the discharge port. So I'm just gonna unplug that. Then let's remove this. Guys, look how tiny this battery is. From this little guy to this guy, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see this, but inside the battery box, there is some ridges at the very bottom. And if I'm bouncing around on the bike, it might cause some pressure with the bottom of the battery. So I just want to add some padding between the ridges and the battery. I got some thin cardboard right here, super thin. I think it'll help though. This battery is pretty much taking all the space up, so I gotta be careful with how thick the padding is. I can only afford a thin layer. I'll add a second layer, and if there's fitment issues, then I'll remove it. I should probably take off this wrapper now. Let's see how it fits. It goes over the box just by a little bit, but it might still be okay. We won't really be able to tell until we put the cap on there. Look how the battery can move around. I'm gonna add some foam on the sides too. Now let's remove these ports right here. It comes out just like that. And then this side. Okay, so if you guys wanted to do this the easy way, you can just leave this like this, put the lid back on, and then feed these cables through the holes. I kind of wanted to create a more stock look, so I got this right here. I'm going to try to put this on the lid and connect this to the battery. And then I will use this to plug in to the discharge, and these terminals will go to the controller. And then I have one for the other side, which is another, I don't know what these are called, ports? This will be for the charger. So this will connect to the battery's charging connector right here. Right there. And this will be on the cover. I mean, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look that modified. Dang, I can't fully fit. I think I'm gonna have to modify this a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to make these edges right here a little wider. Okay, I got my Dremel here. Let's try to shave off a little bit. Now it fits. Hey, looks pretty good. Okay, I got this side screwed in there. And the other side. It's looking pretty good, to be honest. Let's see if all these wires will fit in here. It's not that much space. Okay, let's take the charging connector and plug this in. Okay, and then the discharge connector. Sweet. Now I gotta find a way to put this in here. Oh man, it's a tight fit. I don't know, guys. I don't think it can fit. Gotta play with this. I was able to make it work, and it looks super stock. It's like you can't even tell it's been modified. I'm not sure how safe it is to have a bunch of wires up in here. It is a very tight fit. I had to play around with the wires a lot just to get it to fit inside here. Can't believe this is a high discharge battery. It looks stock. That's crazy. Yeah, no one's ever going to be able to tell this thing is a modified bike. Now that we're done with the battery portion of the build, next up, I'm going to work on the motor. This is a Jinsei Chuang 72 volt, 3,500 watt motor. That's a huge upgrade compared to that little guy. That one in there is like a 500 watt motor. So we're going to be pushing this bad boy pretty hard. And check this out, y'all. It comes with a little freewheel. If you look for this online, this motor will not come with the freewheel. You're going to have to transfer the stock one on this bike to this one. If you don't know how to do that, I'm pretty sure any bike shop can do that for you. If not, you can reach out to me and email me. I might sell it in my stores. I just don't think this build is going to be super popular. But if people ask for it, then I'll have my supplier make some more. But yeah, if you guys can find a 3,500 watt motor in this size that comes with the freewheel, the single speed freewheel right here, post a link in the comments. I'm pretty sure it'll help out a lot of other people too. Right now I'm going to call it a day, but for tomorrow, we're going to remove the rear wheel, take out that tube and tire, and we're going to put it onto this one. Alright guys, we are back at it. Today is day 2, and today we're going to put on the motor and hopefully the controller. Looks like this motor cable right here has no quick disconnect. So we got to remove the controller so that we can remove this cable. There's a little bolt underneath the seat that keeps the seat in place. So once you remove that one single bolt, just pull this out. We have access to the controller. Okay, let's just start pulling all these wires apart because we're not going to need them. And then right here we have the phase wires. Wow, what the heck? Were the phase wires just electrical tape together? Huh. Okay, at least there's some connectors. Guys, if you wanted to use a stock motor, you can. You just, you run the risk of burning it out when you overpower it. But I could picture this motor going up to the 30 to 35 mile per hour range, which is a huge increase from the stock speed we were getting, which was like 18 miles per hour. But because this is Raspy Ride's channel, 30 miles per hour is not going to cut it. Okay, we have all the phase wires and the hall sensors disconnected. We should be able to get that motor out now. There she is. Yep, right here. Okay, here we go again. I'm flipping the bike over. Let's take this off. Come on, chain. There she is. Yee. Honestly, even though these tires came on a $300 bike, they feel pretty good. And plus, on my other build that I did last, I used similar stock tires and I went like 67 miles per hour with. So to go 40 to 50 miles per hour on this, it shouldn't be that bad. It's only my life that I'm playing with. It's not that important. So check this out, guys. This is the stock motor's phase wires. Look how thin they are compared to the upgraded 3,500 watt wires. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Look at that difference. That is wild. Crazy. Yeah, maybe the stock motor should only go up to 30 miles per hour. This is so much thicker. So next up, I'm going to transfer over this tire onto this motor. And I'm probably going to put a different rotor. I think I have an extra rotor that might be a little bit better than that one. I'm still going to stick to the same brakes and the stock calipers, because even though those are cable brakes, they actually work perfectly fine. So I got the tire off. I'm not going to lie, they feel pretty solid. Way better than a lot of the cheaper tires you usually see. I would trust this to go 40, 50 miles per hour. So now I just got to put this on the new motor. Alright guys, so I got the tire and tube on the new motor and a new rotor. We got a little bit of a red accent here. This is just a leftover rotor that I had laying around. You guys see how this motor cable wire is coming through the axle? When you put this onto the dropouts of the bike, you want to make sure this is facing down towards the ground when you're riding. This way, if it ever rains, you have less chance of water getting into the motor. So right now it's going to be facing up because our bike is upside down. It's kind of looking like a tight fit. Excuse my knee. Oh yeah, there we go. Just need a little bit of force. It's in there. So I got that rear wheel all lined up and looking good. Now I'm just gonna clean up some of this wires before I put in the controller. So this bike actually comes with a switch right here to turn on the light and to change your speeds and a horn. I don't really care about the light or the horn. The switch for the 3 speeds, I might see if I can use that for the FarDriver. That'll be pretty cool if I can. This is the wire for the pedal assist. I'm not going to need that anymore, so we can just cut it off. Let's check out this wire. This goes to the brake lever, and that's going to be for the motor cutoff. I can use this and hook it up to the FarDriver controller's low brake, and that means that when I tap the brake lever like halfway, it'll turn on regen. So this is going to be useful. We have one on each side, but I'm only going to use one on the front brake. So I'm trying to get the fitment of the FarDriver controller, and it might be a very tight fit. I might have to get a smaller FarDriver. This one pushes out way too many amps anyways. This is a 200 amp controller. Alright, so I've come to the conclusion that my 200 amp controller will not fit. So I'm probably going to order an 80 amp controller. Now you're probably thinking that there's a huge difference between the 80 and the 200 amp controller. But keep in mind, I wasn't going to push this bike 200 amps. I was going to tune it way down anyways. So a 80 amp controller will be physically smaller and it'll be easier to mount right here too. So I'm going to order that part. It's probably going to take a couple weeks to come in. But once it does, I will finish this build. Okay, so quick update. I don't want to order the 80 amp FarDriver unless I know for sure that 80 amps with 260 phase amps can reach at least 40 miles per hour. So I'm going to use my 200 amp FarDriver, put it in this bag, and tune it down all the way to 80 amps and see if I can reach 40 miles per hour. So right now we still got to do auto learn, but everything's hooked up. It's just super ugly. The wires are messy right now, but we'll take care of that after the auto learn. At least partially take care of it. I just want to see if I can reach 40 real quick. Okay, let's do the auto learn. Alright, auto learn complete. Once I put all these wires to the side and I make it somewhat clean, I'm gonna see if we can hit 40. Okay guys, so I don't have any lights and the bike is definitely not ready. It's good enough to do a quick little speed test. The controller is not tuned. All I did was set it to 80 amps and 260 phase amps, and if I can get 40 miles per hour, then I'll go ahead and purchase the other controller, which will be smaller and it can fit on the bike better. So without further ado, let's test it out. Ooh, there's some good torque. Oh yeah. Oh. Whoa, we almost saw 40. Oh man, I feel like I gotta be on the bigger road for that. Okay, let me just try it here again real quick. 40 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour. Come on, come on. This is a 48 volt bike, guys. This is crazy. Oh, I heard some weird rattling. Something just happened. Something feels weird with the bike. I gotta go back and look at it. It's like very jerky right now. Feels like regen is kicking on when I had no regen set. Alright guys, we are back. It is the next day and I wanted to film during the daytime so I could show you guys what happened last night. So this freewheel right here came unloose and started pushing out this way. It went so far out that it was pressed up against the frame. So thanks to the YouTuber IMHO7250, he was able to guide me on how to fix it. All I did was loosen up this axle nut right here. And then the wheel was able to spin because it was locked up. There was so much pressure from this freewheel. So I loosened that up and then I took it outside and just started pedaling. And it started to tighten the freewheel back up. So now we are good to go and we are ready for another quick little speed run. All right guys, here we go. It's gonna be so scary on a little tiny bike like this. Okay guys, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Come on, come on. 40 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour. 35, 37, 38, 39. Oh jeez, 40, 41. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Oh man, that's scary. Ooh, we ran out of road. Oh man, jeez. Guys, this feels so scary on such a tiny bike. This is bonus footage of the Favoto with 100 amps and field weakening turned on. So let's see how fast we can go. Come on, come on. 100 amps, let's go. 46, oh my God. 47, 48, 49! Oh man! Jeez! Woo! Wow! Oh, we didn't quite see 50 there, but we saw 49. That was good enough for me. Oh, that was scary. I can't believe we just went that fast on a little bike like this, on a 48-volt battery. Dude, I hardly ever see that. There's probably like 1 or 2 bikes out there on the market that can reach over 40 miles per hour with a 48-volt battery. That's insane to me. For the money I put into this bike, you could probably get a faster bike, but it won't look like this. There's a very specific reason why I built this, and it's gonna be because of the looks. It's just a straight up sleeper. Anyone that looks at this will not be able to tell how fast it goes. Even me myself, someone that has modified a lot of bikes now, I would not be able to tell how fast it goes. So since this bike can reach 40 miles per hour on 80 amps, I'm gonna go ahead and order that smaller controller. So I'm gonna wrap things up here. This is gonna be part 1 of the series. Part 2 will be the complete overview with that newer, smaller controller hidden underneath the seat. So it's gonna look really good and really clean. And then part 3 will be the range test. That controller will come in about like maybe 3 to 4 weeks. I don't have it on hand, so I gotta wait for it. Anyways, I'm gonna end this here. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!